Hi, I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. Well, I got some things done other places, but I really need to get back to working on the workshop because, I want to get it done. Never going to be done, but I want to be further ahead than where I'm at. One of the things I wanted to do is get the shelves put on this thing so I can start unloading that table over there. Now, I don't know how far along I'm going to get tonight, but I want to do the best I can. So one of the things that I need to do is put the back rail on that right there. I've got the bottom shelf on this one, same height as the bottom shelf on the 17. So I'll be able to put things underneath there, like that bucket full of lawnmower parts and some other stuff, some of the larger stuff that can sit on the floor and not be damaged. So I'm going to shuffle some stuff around because, that's what I do. I just move things back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's like a never-ending job. But that's okay. It's part of what the world is, and I choose what I do. This has been my choice from the very beginning to build this workshop to be what I want it to be. There we go. Now we're level. Yeah, it's an interesting position to be working in, isn't it? Especially when it's 26 degrees outside. Glad I wore my winter coat. I bought this coat back in 2007. Wore it as my good coat for quite a while. Then I got another one very similar to it because I just like these black coats. There's the hole. Okay. I do like these braces. They're not my favorite, but with this setup on these shelves, they work excellent. One problem I see with them is they came with these little panhead screws. And the panhead screws have a screwdriver slot in the top, which is alright, but it's terribly difficult to get the screws to tighten because that screw head doesn't hold the screwdriver very well. The slot is coming out of the thing all the time. Screwdriver pops out of the slot. So to avoid that issue, I bought some hex head screws. And they work quite well. Well, this cold weather is going to be rough on my fingers. Because it is cold. Now, I don't think these nuts have the same thread as my 1/4-20 screws. So I'm going to check real quick before I get too far along on this. Well, actually they do, but they're 3/8 heads, or 3/8 nuts. I'm used to having a 7/16 nut, but they'll work. One nice thing about having these narrow boards, I mean, there's a lot of them, and besides being cheap, there it is. So get that bolt up in there. My fingers get numb pretty quickly. I got 7/16 on the bottom and 10mm on top. 10mm. Pretty much the standard. Numb fingers, didn't even know I had a hold of that thing. Numb fingers. Phew. It's supposed to warm up tomorrow, be all the way up to 39. That'll be nice. When I was a kid, it would warm up to 39 degrees, and we go running around in the springtime without our coats on because it was 39 degrees. It was warm. Sun felt good on me. Okay, there's the bolt up through the hole. Get my arm down in there if I can. Yeah, I lost the nut somewhere. Not going to spend time looking for it. Oh, there it is on the floor. But I got more. Well, the plan was to bring the screws up from the bottom, so I didn't have the screw
sticking down where I would catch my head on it when I did one of these numbers, you know, climbing inside the rack. But sometimes you say, okay, it's in the back. I won't have my head back there. Make note of that. I will regret that decision later, but right now, tonight, let's make it so I can get the screw in there and get this shelf at least these 2 shelves, and maybe these 3 shelves, put together so I can start loading them up. Because the goal, believe it or not, is to have the shelves so I can put stuff on there and make room to get the furnace running. There we go. My wife used to work in real estate back when we were first married. Worked for a guy named Don Steffi Realty. Nice fella, liked him. One of the things he said is, big thing in real estate is location, location, location. Pretty much the same thing in putting screws in. If they're in a spot you can't get your hands to, doesn't matter anything else. If you can't touch them, you can't put them in. Now after location, I would say temperature comes in there pretty close, because when it's really freaking cold, it's hard to do anything.
And that's 2 of them locked in, solid. Now I'm going to leave some of these things out just so I can get my elbows down in there to put in this last one. Everything takes time. When you only got an hour at a time, it doesn't take much to use up all the time that you have. So we do our best and carry on like we know what we're doing. Put the bolt in. Of course, right away you drop the nut. Well, that's pretty good. I couldn't even tell if I had the nut in my fingers. Totally numb. Totally numb. Hands are cold. Put my gloves on so I can warm my hands up a little bit. These are good to down around 35, 40. They got insulation on them, in them, but the insulation is only good to about 35, 40, and it's now getting down around 24. So it's not doing as well. So let's see if we can get some things moved around over to this set of shelves. Working with gloves on is not my best suit, but the hat doesn't help either. Despite all the drawbacks though, we're making headway. Got 3 shelves put in, braces locked in, boards on them. I can start loading them up. Get some of the things over in this corner organized so that I can move the radial arm saw back and get it out of the way. And then get that table unloaded. I know I've been saying that now for how long now? Month, 2 months? But I got to get it done. I got to do it one step at a time. Get the table unloaded. Get the tractor back in here. I'd like to get the tractor out of the snow. Right now it's buried in snow. All I got to do is get it started. Plug in the inline heater on the radiator and get her warmed up. Take the battery, which is sitting over here on the maintainer, and get it bolted in there and start the tractor up and back it into the building. Then put the maintainer on it inside the building and let her stay nice and warm. I know it's a long, slow process building this workshop. You ought to see it from this end. But, you know, when it's done, each time I do something, like this set of shelves is now the way I want it. I've got the corners set up the way I want it. I've got it set up so I can put the stove in and get the chimney run. And every little bit helps. Sometimes I got to backtrack because I look and I think, well, there's a better way to go. And I hope you're never discouraged from doing it the better way just because the wrong way is the easy way. That's never a good policy because the wrong way always ends up biting you in the butt. So I'm going to put these tools away and I think I'm done for tonight. While I'm moving the stuff over here and putting it on the shelves, I'm going to shut the camera off, try and get things done in a semi-orderly fashion and get done as quick as I can, and then I'm going to head in the house. So you guys have a good night, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time you're watching. If you have any suggestions for new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching. If you have any suggestions for new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching.
This video is not to be viewed by anyone under the age of 13 in the U.S. or 16 in the European Union without the express written permission of the parents or the legal guardians of the underage person. Such written permission must be on file at the local government entity in charge of enforcing the rules and regulations established by the FTC. Anyone violating these terms is admitting by default that they hold harmless the owners and operators of this channel. Any and all questions should be addressed to your local branch of the FTC.